Excellency Mr. Christoph Pfeiffer, Commercial Counsel of the Austrian Embassy in Riyadh, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Ahmed Hassan, based and coming from Austria, and my topic today will be about race conditions and what exactly the impact is when we find or identify race condition vulnerabilities. If you do not understand what is a race condition, this will be also part of our presentation, which we will dive into it and have a look over it. Exactly. Who am I at the beginning? As mentioned, I'm Ahmed Hassan. I was honored and I'm still honored to be part of a lot of conferences in Saudi Arabia, in UAE, in Egypt, also giving different webinars for universities, for students to let them know what is cybersecurity and how they can start their career in cybersecurity. And beside that, that's a small list about the conferences and the events, webinars, etc., where I was honored to give a talk or a presentation. Besides that, I had also the honor to identify several CVEs, or common vulnerabilities and exposures, in different applications, including, for example, Cisco, which is well known, where we identified several Day vulnerabilities to the Cisco security team, and they successfully accepted it and gave us a CVE for that vulnerability. That's in conclusion about myself. Let's come to the main point about race conditions and their vulnerabilities. What is exactly a race condition? The main question at the beginning. Well, race condition is a vulnerability when we have, for example, a booking system or a flight system where an attacker, for example, can book a seat or a flight at the same time, twice or third, for example, without that the system can identify that the course or the ticket have been booked multiple times, okay? And the vulnerability is really critical because you can, for example, book the same seat multiple times, and this occur and gave us, for example, more problems because the people at the airport will have the same ticket booked, and that is causing a lot of problems because financial, operational, reputational problems as well. And as you can see here, for example, when we can use a coupon code, for example, when it's used, for example, at the same time, multiple times or even more, we need to check if the application is aware if it has been used or not. And that's the whole part or the whole understanding about a race condition vulnerability. That's also like a screenshot about how it's working when we see, for example, the code has been used or not, and another client or another attacker in our case is using the same coupon code, and the question is the application able to identify if the coupon code has been used yet or not? That's the whole vulnerability. Okay? That's another explanation about race conditions. When we can see here, for example, we can submit, for example, a discount code. After that, the system is able or is not able to identify if the coupon code and discount code has been used or not, and by that the system will give you one time the code has been used or it has not been used, and we can use it multiple times on this system. Okay, so we have understood the criticality and the explanation of the race condition vulnerability. What can be achieved through this vulnerability, and where in different sectors can we use this attack? For example, everyone is flying nowadays to different countries, and that's also the part I have mentioned before. For example, when we exploit this vulnerability by using race condition vulnerabilities and book, for example, a specific seat more than one time, then we will have a big problem for the flight company, for example, for the people at the airport, because they will have the same seat, and this is causing a huge problem for both, for the client and for the company, for example, any company, without mentioning a flight company for now. That's also the same when we make a critical functionality, which is paying or transferring money. What if the application is not aware when we are making a transaction multiple times at the same time? Is it able to understand that we have made the payment, or will it ask to make further payments at the same time? That's also a huge problem in the financial sector, where we can exploit this race condition vulnerability as well. Okay, there's also some other possibilities to exploit it in other sectors. For example, you have always the way or the possibility to fill up a form for the registration for BlackHat, for example, for other events, or to fill up forms for any other reason. And when we are able to fill up this form for multiple times and send it at the same time, maybe the application is not aware that we have sent it one time before. And that will cause to a huge problem, as you can see here, that the company or the customer at the end will receive multiple times with the same name, with the same information, like the birthday, the username, the full name, etc. And that is causing an internal problem for the customer, as well as for us. In our case, it's the end user, because you will have trouble. We can see we have identified multiple forms submitted by you, but it's not him, it's of course the attacker at the end. So he is using and exploiting this vulnerability to cause issues for the customer and for the client as well. We have also to be aware that government entities, without focusing on a specific land or country, is also part of this problem. For example, here we have a form like mentioned before, and it's a form, for example, for a visa or for a business trip, etc. Is the government really aware of this vulnerability? So I mean, is there any validation when a user submits a form with the same username, with the same birthday, etc.? Or can an attacker submit multiple forms to the diplomatic form, for diplomatic part, for example, through this form? So this is really critical, and from this point of view, we can understand that it's not the private sectors or public sectors. There is also countries, or the countries are also part of securing their environments by trying to identify if this race condition vulnerability is exploitable on their external or internal systems. Yes, so we have discussed until now the whole problem from the managerial side, from the overview, without to get into it on the technical exploitation. And let's now understand the technical side. We have, of course, if you are not aware of it, it's a tool called Burp Suite. This tool used for attacks, especially web attacks. And we are simply just getting the request or capturing the request on Burp Suite. Like you can see here, a specific request, for example, for a form that we want to submit. And after that, we send it to something called the repeater, where we can just send it multiple times, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until how many requests you want to send. And we will now try to send all these requests at the same time. to see if the application is aware and will stop us and identify us from exploiting this vulnerability or not. So, as we have mentioned here, we can see it better on the next slide, where we can play a little bit with the possibilities here, and what we are targeting is 10 group in parallel. So instead of sending a single request one time, we would send it multiple times at the same time. So by that, let's see if the attack will work or not by, for example, sending 100 forms and requests at the same time. It will be a problem for the end customer or the client, but that's the whole idea behind trying to secure your environment. Nowadays, it's a fundamental part, not like a play and have fun thing. So, as mentioned, let's click on that and try to send, for example, the 20 requests at the same time. Okay, and we can see here the output, for example. We have sent the 20 requests, and to summarize it, the request has been, the 20 requests has been sent successfully and accepted by the back-end server. So to make it easier for you, I have made a proof of concept video, a demo, where we are trying to see a bank, like in the financial sector, to see what is the impact of this vulnerability. Let's start the video. And what we will make, we will try to send, as you can see here, our amount is $1,000, for example, and we will try to send like even much more amount than what we have on our account. So more than $1,000, for example, by using exactly this exploitation or this vulnerability. So when we can see here, we just capture the request. We are making exactly the same steps we have mentioned before, cloning it or sending it multiple times to the repeater, okay? And let's see, as you can see here, above you have the amount of the different requests we are trying to send. And now we will follow the steps that we are sending the requests in one time. So you can see here 10 requests, so we will send 10 requests at the same time to see what the output is. Okay, and let's see, we will make the group, and now we can choose the send group in parallel part and send the request. And as you can see here, sometimes it's showing you an error, but that doesn't matter. Okay, we will see the end result, which will be successful. For example, here it was successful, and when we have a look at the end result, our amount at the bank, we will be surprised. Let's check. We had $1,000 in total, and when we just wait for that to update the website, let's see. A little bit waiting. Okay, you can see we were able to send multiple times, even we do not have a balance on our account more than $1,000. We have sent 1, 2, 3, so at least $2,000 without to have an amount or the needed amount on the bank. And this is like showing the real impact on the financial sectors, but it's not like on the financial sectors only. There are all the sectors are part of it to make sure it's like protected from this vulnerability. I hope this video just clarifies a little bit the exploitation of this vulnerability and also the importance of it, because 99% of the security services or security companies, to be also to talk in general, do not include this exploitation in their the penetration. So maybe we have just scratched it at the beginning, but what is the business impact of this vulnerability? So we have seen here the financial part, first of all, the operational part, and the reputation, which is really important. When a bank gets attacked by this vulnerability, the reputation to their customers is not good at all. So let me say it in a diplomatic way. They will maybe try to change the bank or leave the bank because they had a security incident, and this leads to, like, let me say, they will be in the news, in the TV, for example, that they had a cyber attack, which is really critical, and by that it's not very good for the reputation of the company. Yes, to go a little bit, what happened or who exploited these vulnerabilities and which companies had these race condition vulnerabilities. We can see here, for example, at the beginning 2015, this vulnerability was exploited in Starbucks, where people, for example, can buy multiple times for a specific amount, or for $10, much more things than $10. So it has been used by APTs, advanced persistent threats, to exploit it on Starbucks systems, as well as we have mentioned it before, airline ticketing abuse in general. Okay, not a specific flight system or company, but it still happens until now. So this is also really important. And the part which is also included in the airline ticketing is the flight promo codes, but not only the flight. You can have also another promo code from another sector, and it can be exploited exactly by this way we have shown. Yes, so I have reached the end of my presentation. I hope it was informative for you. You got the idea behind race conditions. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for attending my session. If you have any questions, please feel free, and thank you very much for your attention. Okay, if you do, yes, please. Well, I can't hear you, but I think the mic is coming.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I talk, and I had a question regarding this race conditions, and the question is the common mitigation against race condition is rate limit.
Sorry, again?
The common mitigation,
yes,
or the patch against these kinds of attack is rate limiting, right? So you rate limit the browser or the IP that's sending multiple requests at the same time, and you block them. What would be bypass to that patch?
Well, sometimes, as you have mentioned correctly, the IP addresses limitation and rate limiting is a good opportunity to patch this vulnerability, but some people do IP rotation. They change the IPs every 5 minutes or even less than that in order to try to bypass this vulnerability. This is one method which I got right now in my mind, but our attackers nowadays can improve and still get more techniques to bypass this race condition vulnerability.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I don't think we have any questions. So thank you again, and have a nice evening. Thank you. Thank you.